Today on Jimmy's Three Things, Angel Hernandez is retiring from Major League Baseball. Dave Roberts gave Elly De La Cruz some backhanded compliments about his base stealing abilities. And I wanted to look into Logan Webb and umpires and his relationship, his sinker's relationship with umpires, how much it helps and hurts. Those are the three things. Jimmy's Three Things is a production of Dan Patrick Productions, Jomboy Media, and Workhouse Media. You can find it on YouTube. If you don't watch it on YouTube, but you want to watch it on YouTube, you can go to the Talkin Baseball YouTube channel. If you want to listen to it, just audio only, you can go to the Jimmy's Three Things podcast feed. It's its own RSS feed. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, and then we're going to go. 1, 2, 3.
These things come in three.
Three things. Very dull indeed.
All right. So, yeah, Angel Hernandez retired. He's retiring from MLB. He's called his last game, like effective immediately. He has retired.
1, 2, 3.
So,
there's three things, whatever.
He's out. So everyone's going to be using his name for clicks and all that. And obviously, I've done very well by him being in the league, but I'm pretty happy he's not in the league anymore. He's one of the rare umpires that everyone said was bad, like no matter where they were. I think the only people that ever stuck up for him were fellow umpires, and they don't really talk that much. But he's out. I mean, this is an umpire that tried to sue MLB for discrimination, and then MLB had to go to court and say, no, we're not discriminating against him. He's just really bad at his job, so we haven't promoted him. That's how bad of an umpire he is. The article in USA Today kind of went over some of the stuff from Hernandez's past, and it's just so silly that this happened. Bryce Harper, same thing over and over and over again. That's what he's talking about, Angel Hernandez. I remember they have the quotes from CC Sabathia. Let me see if I can just control find. CC Sabathia, Yankees starting pitcher in the next game, stopped his post-game press conference to criticize Hernandez. He's absolutely terrible, Sabathia said. He was terrible behind the plate today. He was terrible at first base. It's amazing how he's getting jobs umpiring in these playoff games. You don't have many other umpires being called out by name. In that same game, it was 2018 ALDS. Pedro Martinez said on the TBS postgame show, Angel was horrible. Major League Baseball needs to do something about Angel. It doesn't matter how many times he sues Major League Baseball. He's as bad as there is. That's the main reason we're sitting here so late. Usually guys have problems with umpires, but they don't feel like they can do this and call them out by name afterwards. Angel was the exception. Okay, so before Angel became the head of terrible umpires, the face of bad umpiring, Joe West was the most popular umpire. But Cowboy Joe West, he was criticized for making the game about himself, for thinking he was the entertainment, taking his time, making scenes out of stuff. He wasn't actually criticized for being a bad umpire. And most players would stand up and say, no, I actually like Joe West. No, Joe's a good guy. Yeah, Joe, they liked his strike zone. They liked, they would back him. So it was always weird to me that Angel Hernandez was just publicly criticized. And I wonder if that has anything to do with the retirement, if MLB was like, this isn't good anymore. Stats have come out that he is not the worst ball and strike caller, for sure. But I think the problem with Angel Hernandez went way past that. It was just management of situations, management of the game, of humans, of having a feel for the game. It was always crazy. I kind of want to go watch. I want to see if they have 2018 ALDS on YouTube. Angel Hernandez. Do they have videos of that? Damn, my videos come up. Noted bad umpire Angel Hernandez blows a couple easy ones. A breakdown. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. So, I don't know. We tweeted out a whole montage of hours. But I wonder if this article has any more. Because it was crazy how many times players would just, oh my God, I forgot he double ejected Lance Lynn in spring training. It was becoming too much of a thing. I think MLB, I don't know, maybe Angel felt it as well. It was becoming way more about him and how much players hated him than it was about the call or getting it right or getting it wrong, and the fans knew. I mean, like that game in New York, people started chanting Angel, F you Angel, or something about Angel. Like, man, I don't even know if Joe West had people chanting his name like that. That's crazy. Is this it? Where this is the pitch? Oh yeah, well that was just he stepped off, stepped back on. Angel didn't see it. Rangers broadcast, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, yeah, I did the video on this about all these pitches. Wow, this is just this year? He didn't even ump that much this year. So, some great breakdowns. We'll pass on that. But everyone always said, what are you going to do when Joe West retires? Like, the breakdowns are going to stop. No, Joe West was kind of fun. Like, he was aware enough. I think if I had to place my bets on which umpire now becomes the face of bad umpiring, it would be, and that's kind of a mean thing to do, that I just realized maybe I shouldn't do this. It seems kind of rude. CB Buckner. It's got to be. He's got a bad zone. His arguments are very much of entitled and stubborn and about him. He had that argument that I did where he was yelling at Marmol saying, you just got here. You just got here. Like you didn't even have a career. So I would guess CB Buckner becomes the face of bad umpiring now that Angel is gone. But I don't know if anyone's going to be what Angel was, because it was almost there seemed to be very little respect from the players and the umpire. And there usually is, although they argue a lot, they eject a lot, argue a lot, all that. They're very respectful. Like, you know, Laz Diaz and Boone have gotten into arguments a lot. When I was at spring training, Laz walked by and Boone said hi and they joked and they laughed and whatever. They're very good at compartmentalizing it. But with Angel, I would talk to players and and they would just go like, yeah, he's a different cat. He's a wild one. Like he looks right past you. I don't know. It was weird. So he's gone. He's done. Long career. Tried to sue MLB for discrimination and then ultimate backfire. Court records say, no, you're just not good. That's insane that happened. That it's on like record in a court of law that he's not good enough at the job. That sucks. That sucks. All right. So that's goodbye, Angel Hernandez. Thank you very much for all the entertainment. I do think that baseball does enjoy the theater of umpires and ejections. Obviously, if they didn't enjoy it, they wouldn't promote them. They wouldn't allow them to exist. It's almost like fighting in hockey. People are like, this isn't part of the game. It's an entertainment business. It gets people interested. So I do think there is like a part of MLB that knows this. Obviously, they promote it, and we know it because I make videos and people enjoy it. So it is, kind of a catch-22. I still think there will be ejections and there will be new rules that get confused, but Angel won't be part of them. We'll just move on. It was becoming too much of a thing where like, oh, Angel's got the game. Look out, guys, something's going to happen. And that's bad. That's not fun. Let's move on to topic number 2, which I actually very much enjoyed looking into. So, Elly De La Cruz stole like 5 bases on the Dodgers. Maybe he got thrown out once and stole 5 bases. And this, I saw this quote from Dave Roberts. He had 5 stolen bases and 6 attempts against the Dodgers. I saw this quote from Dave Roberts. He said, speed, sheer speed. It'll be scary if he can start to get better jumps, start to learn pitchers' tendencies, but he just outruns the baseball. I think there's a desire, a fearlessness, but just sheer speed. You've got to value it. It'll be scary if some base stealer coach tutors him on kind of the little fine-tuned things of base stealing. With the way he can run, it'll be scary for opponents. So, backhanded compliment, saying sheer speed, blistering speed, but also kind of knocking him as a base stealer about, the tendencies and the little things, the nuances of stealing bases. And, Dave Roberts steals some bases in his career. He feels comfortable saying that. Backhanded compliments, but maybe he's got a point. I wanted to dive into the footage and see what I found. And it was actually really interesting. So here is Elly De La Cruz. I got this camera angle is nice from center field. And so I had to pull up steals of third base because I have a camera angle of his jumps and his leads the entire time if he's on second and stealing from third. So I pulled up a lot of shots of him stealing third base. And then I looked up some other base stealers. So Turang stole third base a lot, Bryce Turang in Milwaukee, and Esteury Ruiz stole a bajillion bases last year. So I tried to find similar venues and camera angles so I could compare some of the techniques and the jumps and all of that. And I'm going to start by showing you some of the other guys. So here's Ruiz and the jump he gets. And if you've watched a ton of baseball, you're going to just kind of be like, yeah, that's normal. Kind of that shuffle step, boom, go, turn and go. Shuffle step, turn and go that base runners do. Shuffle, pitcher lifts his leg up, and then he's off. So kind of just like, crab shuffle, and then, secondary lead or first lead, and then you turn and go. That's Chisholm. This is Doyle on the Rockies. McGuire does it. Here's Turang doing it. Shuffle, boom, goes. Reading the pitcher, timing him, and as he's timing him, getting some momentum, and that's all normal if you've seen that. Now look how Elly De La Cruz does it. No shuffle at all, just kind of shot out of a cannon from standstill, and then boom, no shuffle, and the arms go up, and he runs kind of like Jack Sparrow. Just the arms go crazy, and he's off. Just standing there, boom, goes. So you can see what Roberts is talking about. Like, that one's kind of funny. Almost like he's getting scared, and then just, I'm out. See you later. No shuffle. No anticipatory or reading the pitcher. Just as soon as the leg comes up, just going. Boom. Goes. It does look different. The hands come up. He gets tall. Usually guys turn. They get lower the first couple steps, and the hands are kind of like within their body. His arms come up, flailing about, and he is off. So that was different. I brought up some overlays. So here is Turang and De La Cruz. This is both at Minute Maid Park. So there's not that many venues where they overlaid where I could do an overlay with the same thing. And the jump difference here is kind of wild. So I synced this up from the first movement of the pitcher, which is right there. You can see the pitcher's knee coming up, which is what they're reading. And you can see that in this shot, Elly is kind of shuffling a little bit, but he shuffles and then comes to a standstill while Turang is just waiting. And then Turang's off as soon as it happens, and Elly doesn't use the momentum of the shuffle. He stands still, and Turang's got about 5 feet on him, jump-wise. Maybe 5 feet, maybe more. Elly's 6 feet plus some, and if you put him lying down, there's maybe 10 feet difference in this jump between Turang and Cruz. And then what I did is I found Esteury Ruiz also in Houston. So it's the same venue. So I have the same camera angle. I can overlay, and it makes sense. And Ruiz is getting his movement. They're actually moving at the same time, but Ruiz pairs it right. He never really stops. He's shuffling. And the shuffles get smaller as he's waiting, and he goes, where Elly right there is kind of flat-footed. All of his weight is on his right foot, where Esteury Ruiz never puts all of his weight on his right foot until he goes. And that's the difference of maybe 2-3 feet, which can be a huge difference in base stealing when they're throwing a third. So you can see what Roberts is saying. He doesn't do the natural base stealing shuffle and run. Here's all three at the same time. And you can see he has the worst jump out of the three of them. And it's because his momentum stops, and then he kind of go, ugh, and throws himself into it, where you can see their arms get smaller in front of them, and his arms get wide and big. So I'm guessing from Robert's vision as just a baseball guy and seeing it, that's what he's talking about. But I found something interesting, and maybe this is a conclusion to this. Elly De La Cruz has been picked off 3 times, and every time he gets picked off, he's doing the shuffle, right? The hands crack me up. You just gotta, if you're not watching on YouTube, just listen. You just gotta, like, look at this one. I don't know what timestamp we're on. Both hands above his head. You just never really seen it. There you go. Whoop. But he got picked off there. And then he also gets picked off with an inside move by Rodgers and the Giants there. And he's doing this shuffle. So as soon as he moves, then he's got to go back. And then here, this is the Tigers. He shuffles, and then turn around move, and he gets picked off. So I wonder if Elly De La Cruz is saying, yeah, I don't do the shuffle and go because I don't need to, because I'm fast as hell. And my chances of getting picked off are way less if I just stay still and the pitcher doesn't think I'm going and I just boom. I have no idea, but it could be what's going on. Is he's like, yeah, I'm so fast. I make up ground with my sheer speed that I don't need to do it, because when I do it, I tip it. Because he definitely doesn't tip when he's going. Like, look at these. He's not tipping. He's just standing still. And then he's just trying to time it with that knee. The hands crack me up. When the left hand like goes all the way back. It's kind of bizarre. Is this his pose? Is this what we should make his pose? I don't know if he's like proud of it or not. You know, should I? I'm going to screenshot a bunch of these. It's every time. Yeah. I'm just going to grab a bunch of pictures. So maybe Roberts is right and maybe Cruz is right. Maybe he's like, yeah, I don't do all that stuff because I don't need to. And maybe Roberts is right that, like, if he did do it, he could get better. And if his speed slows down a little bit, then he'll do it. I have no idea, but I thought it was interesting, and I enjoyed my deep dive into what I found. He's almost dabbing. Yeah, that's what it is. It's almost like the right arm comes to the forward and the left arm goes out. So he's cool. Hip. A little behind the times, 5 years or so. But that is Elly De La Cruz, who's stealing a ton of bases. I mean, if we want to go look at his game log, it's incredible. I mean, look how many games he has with multiple stolen bases. He has 8 games where he's stolen more than one base. And then against the Dodgers, he had 5 attempts in that in that game. It's so stupid. I think they finally threw him out later on. Silly. 31 steals already. So that's fun. The last thing that I looked at, the third topic today, is I had a feeling, and just because I've watched some Logan Webb games, because I love Logan Webb, and then I saw some ump report cards about how it was like the most missed calls or something like that. And I wanted to see how much Logan Webb getting calls off the plate helps his games. I don't know actually like what the official question is here, but Logan Webb throws that sinker off the plate. And if he gets an umpire that's going to give him the call over there, I think he's unstoppable. And if he gets an umpire that doesn't give him the call, I wanted to see if that hurt, how much that hurts him. I don't think it hurts him that much, but here's the game against the Padres. Oh, that's actually on the inside. Oh, do I have this wrong? Let me see. Oh, I think I have the locations wrong in my search. He's getting the outside there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, actually, that makes sense because I wanted the other side. So I want, let's see. I'm looking at the strike zone here. I want 13, 16, and 19. So I want pitches that are in the shadow zone, 13, 16, 19. And then they're very off the plate, 23, 26, 29. These are the zones when you search on Baseball Savant. And then I want them to be, so that they're kind of outside there, but I want them to be called strikes. So how many is he getting off the plate? I guess I could keep, oh my goodness, 11 in this game. 11 pitches that were not strikes, called strikes. That's a lot of pitches. Oh, so they're saying that those could be. Okay, so pitches out of the zone, and then on that side of the plate. Boom. That's what I want to look at, because I feel like Logan Webb, his stuff moves so late and so horizontal that if you get an ump that's tricked by it, like a CB Buckner type who sets his head inside to a righty, you could probably just dominate that guy. So we have 8 pitches. So let's see these pitches in this game. It was against the Dodgers on April 2nd. And this umpire, I don't know who the ump was, but he was giving him the inside the lefties on that two-seamer. And there's Gavin Lux being like, what the hell, man? Come on. And let's see. Here's Will Smith. So that's the slider, but still outside. That's tough. This is kind of Stroman's been doing this with the Yankees too. Slider outside, sinker outside to righties. If you are given that line, you're going to have a big day. That one, they say it doesn't come back in. Umpire said it did come back in. Damn, this ump's giving him everything. Who is this? Is this Cuzzy or something? Oh, I think it is Phil Cuzzy. Logan Webb, Baseball Reference, game log. What date was this? This was April 20th. No, it was April 2nd. Wow. He actually didn't have a good game. It's his worst game. 3.2 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. Is that the same game we're looking at? Yeah. Holy shit. So he got a ton of calls by Phil Cuzzy, and he had a bad game. There goes my whole thesis. Oh, my goodness. I thought it was going to be the opposite. That was only calls on that side of the plate. I'm going to make it calls on every side of the plate. I just added one more. That's crazy. I thought it would have helped him. It didn't help him at all. So my hypothesis is bad. So Phil Cuzzy's bad at that. So this umpire scorecards has the ability. Let me just make sure that was Phil Cuzzy. April 2nd, baseball game log, umpire, home plate, Phil Cuzzy. So umpire scorecards has the ability for you to search. So I'm going to say filter all games played between March 20th and September 29th where Phil Cuzzy was the umpire. Analyze each team's home and away games played at any venue. What does this give me? How do I use? I've never used this feature before. It's umpirescorecards.com. And this is going to be every Phil Cuzzy umped game. And then who he's helped out the most. So he's helped out San Francisco Giants the second most. That must have been the Logan Webb game. How do I find out the date of these games? Do I click this? Does it give me the scorecard if I click the team? No. How does this website work? I want to find out the pitcher. What the hell's going on? I want to find out the pitcher that he also umped for. What is going on? Does anyone understand what's happening on this website that I'm on right now? I don't. Oh my goodness. Just a fumbling, bumbling idiot right now. Okay. Let's find out. I want to find out. I don't even know what's happening. I want to find out Phil Cuzzy's fucking tendencies. They're alphabetical by first name? That's bizarre. Okay, Phil Cuzzy. Now, if I click him, what happens? Okay, St. Louis. Okay, it was 4-19. Cardinals game. We're gonna figure this out. For sure we are. Team. Cardinals. Pitcher. What day did I say it was? Nobody knows. Oh my goodness. 419. I feel panicky for some reason just because this website just gave me a heart attack. 419, Cardinals pitcher pitches out of the zone, pitch result, called strike. Apparently this pitcher also Kyle Gibson. Sinkers. Here we go. Okay. So what I'm trying to figure out, I want to know if by the playoffs we can choose starting pitchers based on umpire. Because there's certain pitches and certain umpires that I feel like you can. Like, if you want to ride the outside edge, then you need Phil Cuzzy. If you have a sinker, two-seam combo, and you want pitches outside the righty strikes, then you need Phil Cuzzy on the bump. Probably CB Buckner too. And I'm watching footage here. That's on the other side. See just wide zone McGee. Big old knob on Bryce Terang's bat. So it's just outside. So if you just want to attack guys outside. So now for my beloved Yankees, Baseball Reference, Stroman. I'm going to go splits, career splits. But Logan Webb didn't even have a good game. That's what's ruining the whole thing when he got all the help in the world. Phil Cuzzy, how many games has he umped to Stroman? 1 game. 6 strikeouts. It was in 2019. It was in 2019. And he went 6 innings pitched. Come on now. 5 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. All right. So Phil Cuzzy's umpiring a playoff game in the series the Yankees are. You know what? By the end of the year, I'm going to have every umpire's tendencies down. So this is probably not going to happen. But when you get to the postseason, there's certain pitchers and certain umpires that match up better. Who cares about the batter? Give me the strikes. Cuzzy's umping game 2. Well, Stroman's our game 2 pitcher. I bet that's happening or has happened in cases before. I wonder if you can pinpoint it and happen and, because in all totally stumbled on that. In a perfect world, is what I was trying to say, you shouldn't care about the umpire because everyone should be calling the same strike zone. But that's not how it works. So let's figure out which starting pitchers match best with which umpires and make those happen in the postseason for the teams you like. Give me the analytics on it. I'll learn how to use that website better and we'll figure it out. Thanks for tuning in to Jimmy's 3 Things today. A show where you listen to me stumble and rumble and ramble on. But sometimes we find some cool stuff. The Elly De La Cruz stuff is interesting. And I wonder if he's not doing shuffles because he doesn't need to or because he doesn't have the fine-tuned tendencies of a base stealer yet. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate that you watch and you enjoy. And you can subscribe to the channel if it so pleases you. It would please me. Goodbye. See ya.